Good morning, gamers! Top of the morning to you, and welcome back to another episode of Game Grumps. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Mr. Dr. Professor Jolin Reed.
I feel like we've used this skit before, like the name Mr. Dr. Professor Jolin Reed.
I don't know what you're talking about, skit, because I see the medals, the rewards, the acknowledgement, the degrees that you have on your walls. Like, don't you think I notice that every time we go to your house to watch movie night? Huh? You just rub it in our face. Like, that's literally the first thing you see when you walk in your door.
Yeah, in big bold letters with spotlights and the work.
See, then
I have a butler. That's his only job is to buff and polish my rewards and medals.
Hey, with so many rewards and medals, they get pretty dusty. You gotta keep them looking like shiny. Do that little spit shine. You know, just gotta keep it up.
It's pretty good at his job.
See, so then how can I not call you Mr. Dr. Professor Jolin?
I mean, I've told you guys many times. I just want to be Jolin. Just because I have these titles doesn't make me any different.
But Jolin, see that
now that I've been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, it's like I'm still just me. All right, I'm not any different.
But see, all that hard work is just going unacknowledged every time we just call you Jolin. It's just not fair. I personally believe it's not fair to you. But if that is your wish, I shall truly abide by it. There you go.
All right.
I got it. Oh, sorry. That was me.
Wow. After
sorry about that.
I think it's been a year. I don't even know.
A year of doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, after, let's just say, like, what,
I think it's been
50
like
episodes?
2 years.
Do we have 50 episodes? How many episodes do we have? Oh my gosh.
No, we have like, I think this is like our 39th or 38th or something. I can check right now.
What?
But,
Wait, what do we have of like 50 of?
How's it going?
Jolin.
What it do?
Jolin. This
Konnichiwa.
question is more important than all the beautiful people out there, okay?
Wow, you hear that, audience? Apparently. I don't even know what the question was, but it's more important.
Oh, wow, so you don't even
this
pay
is our
attention
40th.
to me.
This will be our 40th.
This will be our 40th?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to us. And please note that this was just a bit, and I really do care about you guys. It really does mean a lot to me. I can't say the same for Jolin, but...
this October, it'll be our second year.
Second year doing this? Oh, nice. Not bad. I'm satisfied. I'm happy.
Anyways,
pretty fun.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Cafetalk. I tried saying it like twice, but I couldn't. But yeah, hello. How y'all doing? How's it going? What it do, baby boo?
Pause for response.
Wow.
You gotta give them time to respond, Jolin, right? Do you think you could just like automatically scroll down and just comment away like in a few seconds?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are that fast typers. You gotta acknowledge them.
In the first 5 seconds, I already expect that comment like, you guys think you're funnier than you actually aren't?
That you actually aren't? So we are funnier then.
I don't know. It's
a double negative.
That means we're not funny.
I don't know. Double negatives always confuse me just because I don't want to produce the mental capacity to actually process it all.
Okay. Anyways.
Don't you take that tone with me, young man.
Don't you take this away from me. I've worked my life off.
Oh, now you want to acknowledge all your rewards and I'm going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. What do I have over here? Just one Golden Globe and an Emmy. You think those are useful? No, nothing.
Yeah?
Nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
All right, it's just useless rewards that mean nothing to me.
Have you ever had one of those hangnails and then you pull it out and then it gets infected?
That's very weird. It's weird how bacteria works like that.
So, Victor, what do we have planned for today?
So we have a lot of plans today, Jolin.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's because I just can't.
Hate him or love him, this man is spitting straight fact.
We got South Park on the brain, Jolin. We got South Park in the schedule, and we got South Park in the conversation. All right, because
the reason why
I was gonna say that. Yeah, why, Jolin? Why do we have this?
It's because on the 25th, the new season of South Park comes out, and I don't
the
know
25th of September.
Yeah, this September.
Month? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I don't know if we ever mentioned it on the show, but we're like huge fans of South Park.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if we ever made references to it, because we kind of make a lot of references to other cartoons or TV shows that we like.
Possibly. I
But-
know we talked about Rick and Morty a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that was
But
just,
speaking of which, Rick and Morty also has a new season coming out this month too.
what is the 20th of September? Yeah, wait, when is South Park dropping?
25th.
25th? There you go. You could watch Rick and Morty first and then go check out South Park. But, see, the reason why we're starting this podcast is to get people that have never watched South Park, maybe a little hint, a little taste, point out which episodes maybe you want to give a try, which episodes are fun, enjoyable, memorable to us.
Yep. And we have a list. We came up with
Our
own list of
Yeah.
episodes that are worth watching. I'll give you a chuckle, give you a feel of what South Park was, is, and will become.
Yeah, just hoping that, if you want to start watching the new season, see what all the hype is about, maybe you could check out South Park before it became all, what's the word for it? Continuous, the story?
Oh, I don't know, sequential?
Sequential, there we go, thank you. Yeah, before the story got sequential, because only like the past 3 seasons have been like that.
Well,
Like-
no, the latest one, the 22nd season, I believe,
Uh-huh.
it still follows like the
The South Park.
chronological order
Yeah.
of things. Like one episode plays off of what happened in the previous episode,
Yeah.
but it's not enough where it warrants like, oh, you have to watch them in order. I think
True.
only the cyberbullying, which is I think the
The PC?
19th, the 20th episode or something.
Uh-huh.
Like the PC culture one and the cyberbullying and stuff, those are, you have to watch them in order, because if you watch them you won't really understand what's going on. And then the whole like Eric and Heidi relationship going on.
True. Well, I mean, I feel like, those are mainly like the episodes towards the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Like the middle of the season is mainly just like traditional South Park. It's just random stuff. You could just jump right into it. You don't really have to like have a background story to it. But if you're watching like towards the end of the season, that's when they become pretty sequential in the story. So you're kind of gonna get lost if you didn't watch the episode prior to it. But these episodes we have on our list are actually from previous season, right? Like the earlier seasons.
Yeah, definitely.
And these episodes you could just watch with no context and hopefully you enjoy them. You don't need to see what
but
happened
before
in the
we
previous.
dive into this, do you have anything you want to say or talk about first?
We're gonna get pretty grim right now.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you heard about this, Jolyn. I'm pretty sure you have, but it's just weird that nobody's talking about it. The world is dying. And that's not new news.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not nothing new. It's something you would hear everywhere. It's people are talking about it, but the thing is, nobody's talking about it with urgency. Nobody's talking about it with seriousness, with anything significant to add. I myself, I'm not that smart of a guy. I'm not trying to say that I am. I'm not trying to. I'm just a normal dude, basically. All right. And all I'm just trying to say is that I am freaking out right now. I don't know if you are. I'm just freaking out, like how fucked this world is.
Yeah.
How
it's pretty
messed up. Like we're just gonna die.
Yeah.
Basically the thing that just kind of like pushed me over the edge is I was watching the H3 podcast with Ethan and Hila, and they were talking about the Amazon fire. I heard about the Amazon fire prior to that, but I thought it was like a small fire. I thought it was like contained. I thought it was something that people were taking care of, right? Something that was pretty much already gone by the time I heard of it. Turns out, no. Turns out it's still going on right now to this moment.
Yeah.
And every hour, like 6 football fields are getting burned off, and that's so many like indigenous people live there. So many like different species of animals live there. It's the Amazon rainforest, man. It's like it provides so much oxygen to our planet.
Yep.
Like, so it's just that kind of pushed me over the edge into realizing how messed up our planet is getting.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And then like that's not the only fire happening. Like Greenland is on fucking fire. There's fire like on Egypt, Europe, Asia, everywhere. Like fucking America too. Like right now. There's fires everywhere, and it's crazy, man. It's just the world is dying in front of our eyes, and nobody's doing anything about it, and nobody seems to care, which is funny because it's still on the note of South Park, because of the article that you sent me. From Vice. Yeah, like what did the article say, John?
The article was basically saying how like South Park made it cool not to care, but now it's like that message is more prevalent now than ever.
Exactly.
Because I mean, it kind of falls into that whole argument that went on like 2 years ago about the whole like thoughts and prayers act. It's like, sure, these things are going on, but like people think it's enough to just send your thoughts and prayers, when in reality, I mean, not everyone has the means to like spring into action and just drop everything they're doing in their lives and just go and help these people or these events.
Some people don't even have enough like money to even just send for charity and help out. Like all they can do is just sit back and watch.
Yeah, but it just got to a point where people were like trolling the whole thoughts and prayers thing. Exactly. That it was like the end all be all. Like once that happened, it's like, okay, the problem's fixed. Let's focus on something else.
Exactly.
So I don't know. It's weird,
and we're seeing it with this Amazon fire. We're seeing it like more prevalent than ever that we're not doing anything about it. You know, it's like, but just like we're too like, cool to care. Yeah, just go research it. Don't take all our opinions or our information as the end all be all of it. There's so much more that even we don't know about. Mm-hmm. So just go, just raise awareness. Just spread the news. Go research it yourself and just spread the word.
Yep.
Going into South Park, Jolin. Let's line up the mood. Let's change stuff up. Let's bring the regular schmegula into the podcast. God. See what we got here. Do you got the regular, Jolin?
I do got the regular.
And what is that? Where is it? What you got? Okay.
So do you want to like? I don't know what the hell that sound is. All right. All right. So just some background on my list. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to do like we read out our number 10s and then our number 9s, or I go through my list and then you go through your list.
That was actually my first question. How many did you put on your list?
I kept it to 10. 10? It was really hard, but I kept it to 10.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
I do have some honorable mentions though, but 10 is where I'm at.
So I tried putting honorable mentions, but we'll get to that once we get into it.
Yeah.
So I'd say we go by 10s, like 10s, 9s.
So yeah,
like, yeah. That's
okay. So, like, some background on my list. I didn't include any episodes from Season 13. Because Season 13 is the greatest season. Literally, every single episode is amazing. And my top 10 would be all of Season 13.
Yes.
So, no Season 13 in mind. All of the episodes that are, like, sequels or trilogies, like Imagination Land, Coon and Friends, I didn't include any of those either.
That was actually one of my highlights, the honorable mentions. The whole Coon and Friends, Imagination Land, those were gonna be my highlights and honorable mentions, because it's just even though it's multiple part episodes, it's like a staple. It's like a movie in itself, it's a TV movie, that sort of stuff. But honestly, my top 10 list is actually of episodes from season 10 and under. Because after season 10, that's when it got so hard to choose and pick what episode. I could not choose one over the other.
Okay. So yeah, I stopped my list at season 18. Because after that, that's when they get turned into like chronological episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. But once I got to season 13, that's when I was like, I can't pick. This is too good. So I just stuck it to like season 10 and under.
All right.
So it's a good place to start.
Do you want to start off with our number 10s?
All right, let's go. Number 10. What's your number 10, Joel?
So for my number 10, I chose season 16, episode 7, Cartman Finds Love.
Cartman Finds Love?
It's the one where...
with Heidi and him?
No. It's the one where...
Okay.
What's the other?
So just give like a quick summary of the episode.
Yeah. So the new girl moves in, and she's Black, African American.
Yes.
And then Cartman feels like Token and her have to be together.
Oh yes.
I forgot what her name is.
It's Nicole.
There you go. Nicole moves to South Park, and then Cartman kind of forces Heidi and Nicole to be together.
Token and Nicole
to be together.
Yeah, because they're the only two African American kids in the entire school.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in an entire like town, right?
South Park.
Yeah. So he thinks that like it's destiny they should be together.
Honestly,
because they have the
like
same skin.
I love the fact that he does that whole big thing at the Denver Nuggets game. And then how he tricks everyone, like, oh, guys, Batmobile outside. And they're like, what? But it's only, like, Heidi and... it's only, like, Token and Nicole who don't care about the Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they're always just, like,
it gives
together.
them time to, like, sing and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
So that's the premise of the episode, just, like, the girl moves in, and then he just tries to force them to be together.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the fact that he creates his own persona of
Yeah,
Cupid,
there you go.
which
The
is
Cupid.
like little him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he calls him Cupid me. Yeah, and he just goes around and like shooting arrows in people and to make them fall in love, and then peeing in their mouths for some reason.
No, that's in the later season.
That's in the later season.
Oh, he mentions it, but then you actually see it in the Tweaking Craig episode.
That's in the Tweaking Craig episode. Ah, man, I love that episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 10 definitely has to be Major Boobage, which is season 12, episode 3.
Which one's Major Boobage?
Major Boobage was one of the first episodes that I...
Oh, it's the Cat P one.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
watched
that one.
so much. Like, it was before like Hulu and Netflix and stuff. So that episode is the first episode that I watched more than once, like 5 times, and this was before Hulu, so I had to actually catch the rerun on Comedy Central. And so the premise of the episode is people discover that you can get high off of the dominating cat pee, or the pee that like cats use to mark their territory.
The territory.
Apparently that gets people high if you get it sprayed right in your face, and the town of South Park is trying to ban cats in general.
Yeah.
So it turns into this whole like cat hunt to like to just take away all the cats from town. Eric Cartman actually is in charge of like keeping cats in his own attic.
He like hides them away.
Yeah, kind of like Anne Frank.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Kenny, the poor one of the group, he actually gets into the drug, and it turns out like we get to see his perspective of like how the trip is when you're high on that thing, and you see that it's kind of like a reference to the 80s movie called Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Where it's just like gore, you just get taken to like this apocalyptic wasteland, and you're the hero, the main hero of that story, and for some reason there's just this girl with an amazing body and just humongous tits. At first I remember thinking that it was just because Kenny liked girls with big tits.
Yeah.
But it turns out everybody that gets high on cat pee imagines this place.
Yeah, because later on you find out that Kyle's dad Gerald was like an avid user back in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that little tidbit where like Randy is like, oh, you never get to see your tits anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So you find out that even Stan's dad Randy gets to like has used it at least once.
Yeah.
And it's just a great episode, you know, like the whole cartoon style changes for when they're high, and it really looks like the movie Heavy Metal. And I loved it because the whole premise of like cats being hidden away and the Kenny getting high, and at the end Kenny even fights with Kyle's dad in like
they're both
the playground.
like high as hell.
Yeah, they're both high.
Funny.
It's a good episode. It's pretty funny. What's your number 9, Joe? Let's move on.
Right.
Let's keep going.
So my number 9 is season 16, episode 8. Sarcastable. Sarcastable is such a good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, such a good episode. So like the premise of that episode is like the schools deem that playing tackle football is too unsafe because of the recent research on concussions in the NFL. So then Randy takes it upon himself to like reform football in school.
Sarcastically though.
He does it all sarcastically.
But then
by making the players
seriously.
wear bras, and instead of like having a football, they use a balloon, and you get points by saying compliments and hugging each other. So it's meant to just be like a dumb, sarcastic thing. Like
a parody of football.
Yeah, a parody of football, but then people take it seriously, and they replace the NFL with the National Sarcastable League. And it's so good.
And Randy becomes a professional coach.
He becomes a coach for the
team.
Denver Broncos.
Yeah, for the Denver Broncos. And it turns out, so the B-side story of that episode, which I love, is about Butters.
Yeah.
And Butters is...
because Butters is so compassionate and such a nice guy, they make him the like kind of like the quarterback, the leader of the team, and people are like, how are you so compassionate and all these things? And it turns out that Butters like has been stowing away his secret goo, which is just like night jizz.
Yeah.
But then he makes like but then he like lets people drink it, and they're like, oh, we feel all warm and cuddly and compassionate. on the inside. And that's the thing that basically like makes people stop taking sarcastic seriously, because it's like the joke that pushed it over the edge.
Which is funny though, because at the end of that episode, the one that figures out that they're drinking jizz is Randy.
Yeah.
He clearly just says, "This is cum."
Yeah, because he drinks some of Butter's goo also.
Yeah, he tries it out because he's like, "Oh, you need like," his son is like, "Dad, you need to learn compassion. So here, have this drink," and he just straight up just says, "This is cum," and it just made me laugh so hard the first time I saw it, because it just. How does he know how it tastes and feels to drink it? Before. Yeah. So it caught me by surprise. I loved
it. Randy's an interesting character.
Yeah, he's
one of the best characters.
Definitely, I agree. But yeah, that episode's a good one to go to.
It's pretty good.
It has great laughs in there.
Yep.
It showcases Butters and the team, and it just like goes to extremes that you don't really expect the premise of Sarcastaball to go to.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Victor, what's your number 9?
So my number 9's gotta be where did I do it? Oh, season 7, episode 5, Fat Butt and Pancake Head.
Oh, I have that episode on my list too.
Oh, you do? It's higher up though.
Hold on. Oh no, never mind.
You didn't put it on there?
That episode made it into my top 20.
Oh,
but when I was cutting it down, it didn't make the cut.
Okay, well, see that
Yeah, that's a good episode.
So so starting off with that episode, I never understood why the name was Fat Butt and Pancake Head. I didn't really get that. But because the premise of the show or the premise of the episode, why? No.
Do you still get it now?
No, why?
They're just making fun of how what's her name?
Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, they're just making fun of how she looks.
And Pancake Head.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
It could be either that or because literally like when Cartman does Jennifer Lopez on his hand, it looks like a pancake head.
Oh, it does. Oh, yeah, I get it. Okay, so yeah, that's the whole episode right there. In order for his what is it, Hispanic or project or something like that?
Oh yeah,
Hispanic history project. Cartman decides to dress up his hand like a little puppet of Jennifer Lopez.
And it's actually Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, and he sings the song for the judges, which they love. And because he wins the competition, he decides to continue on the ruse and actually start singing like songs in a mall, which then later gets like sent to like a recording studio.
Well, I mean, I think it's not because he wins the competition. It's not in like typical Eric Cartman style. It annoys Kyle, so he just keeps on continuing with it.
No, he actually wins the competition. That's
I know he wins it, but he continues doing the whole thing because it annoys Kyle.
True, that too. Yeah, it's both of them. I agree. But yeah, either way, he gets popular because he gets a record deal, and then the real Jennifer Lopez gets kicked out and replaced with Jennifer Lopez,
and then even Ben Affleck falls in love with Jennifer Lopez,
and it's just Cartman's hand. That's the whole hilarious aspect of this episode. Crazy shit happens, shenanigans unfold. In the end, you find out that Jennifer Lopez was actually an undercover agent named Mitch Connor, which is another character that Cartman made up.
Mitch Connor.
It's great. It's funny. It's just an all-around fun time for South Park.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Cartman to go that far with Jennifer Lopez, and it has so many memorable songs like Taco Taco Burrito Burrito. It's hilarious. Okay, but that's the one episode. Season 7, episode 5, I believe. Yeah, Fat Butt and Pancake Head.
Yep.
That was my number 9. What's your number 8, Joe?
All right, so my number 8 is season 2, episode 4, Chicken Lover.
See, that was gonna be on my list too, but I was like, nah, I think I can find a better one.
No, Chicken Lover is such a good episode.
Which one is Chicken Lover?
Chicken Lover is the one where Officer Barbrady can't read, so they send them back to elementary school, and then at the same time, the B side story, the B story, is where Officer Barbrady like deputizes the kids. So it's the one where you get Eric Cartman dressed up as a cop, and he's like, "Respect my authority."
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Such a good episode.
Funny. Respect my authority.
Yeah.
See, if you search up anything South Park, that's one of the things you'll definitely see. of Cartman just like, we're
but Chicken Lover. It's such a good episode, and it holds up for being like a season 2 episode, even all the way until now.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out, it kind of spoils it, but yeah, it's so funny, like watching Officer Barbrady like actually just enjoy being in elementary school, because it kind of like reinforces that idea how like in cartoons the adults are the dumb ones and the kids are the smart ones.
Yeah, because I mean the kids have to be the ones to get into like shenanigans and adventures.
Yeah.
But I remember he actually but then again, even compared to other adults in the series, Officer Barbrady is more on the slow side than the rest.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny to have a very dim-witted cop being the only cop in the whole town.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that episode. But why did they call it Chicken Lover?
Because Officer Barbrady has to solve the crime about who's like making love to all the chickens in town, but they leave him a note and he can't read it, and that's how people find out that he's illiterate. And then the chicken lover still continues to like make love to chickens around and leave notes like, if you want to catch me, meet me at this place. And it turns out that it's just a coy, a ruse to like make Officer Barbrady learn how to read.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was just created by the town itself, or
by somebody.
By yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys just gotta watch the episode to find out.
Well, I mean, freaking spoilers from 1997.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying this list is for people who have never seen the show.
True.
Or at least people that want to refresh themselves before the new season.
Yeah.
Just to see how great it is.
All right, go ahead. What's your number 8, Victor?
So my number 8 is actually from season 1.
Ooh.
And it's a very important episode. I'll tell you why right now. It's season 1, episode 8, Starvin' Marvin.
Oh.
So the reason why I put this episode as my number 8 is because introduces a new character called Starvin' Marvin. But he's not really a character. He's just a, character for the episode.
Yeah.
And Starvin' Marvin is this young little boy from Ethiopia who is actually starving and gets accidentally shipped to the boys in South Park instead of a Casio wristwatch or something like that? Yeah, because if you donated like $5 to the organization, they were gonna send you a wristwatch, but like a mix-up happened that they sent a kid to them, and the kids adopt Starvin' Marvin and name him Starvin' Marvin, and then they don't understand each other because he speaks a different language from them, and Cartman, being Cartman, doesn't feed him. He just like forces him to watch them eat. like every time Starvin' Marvin wants to get food, he's like, "No, Starvin' Marvin, that's my pot pie." And in the end, it ends on a happy note. I'm not gonna say the ending, but it ends on a happy note. The reason why I put it in my 8 though is because this isn't the first time you see Starvin' Marvin, or even like hear about him. Yeah, so it's a good place to start. It's a good place to watch. Fair enough. A nice episode. That was what, number 8?
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 7, Jolene?
All right, number 7 is from season 6, episode 2, Aspen.
Oh yeah.
So
Pizza French fry.
Yeah, I really like that episode because it's like they take one of those generic 80s movies where there's
sports movies.
Yeah, like a sports movie or something like
the Underdog movie actually. Yeah.
The whole Underdog thing is kind of like what's the movie that I'm thinking of? Like, is it Footloose? The one where they have to dance to save the community center?
Yes.
Yeah, they take like that whole premise where there's like a rich person who's gonna buy the community center, but you have to but if you challenge them and you win, you get to keep it, or whatever. But and literally, it's like the kids are just forced into this position. They don't even care. They even break the fourth wall, saying like, "You don't even know Jessica." And he's like, "All right,"
because he actually gets into it eventually. Like Stan, the main guy, gets into it for a bit, and then he gets reminded by Kyle. He's like, "You don't even know who these people are." He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
Yeah, but it's just such a good episode, and it's like because it has a lot of that whole meme that like, "Oh, if you eat pizza when you French fry, you're gonna have a bad time."
Yep,
that's where that meme came from.
Yep, it's like if you go out there blank blank blank, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah,
that's from that episode.
Oh man,
that episode was so well structured.
It was.
It
was very
fun
well
of the whole Underdog story. Because it had everything. It had the pompous, douchey antagonist, the hot girl that the protagonist wants, the nerdy girl that apparently was best friends with the protagonist for like childhood, but loves him, but doesn't want to get between him and the hot girl.
Yeah.
And then a reason to fight, quote unquote, for the community center. It's a great episode. It's so much fun. And the B story is, while like the kids are having this whole adventure, the parents are trapped and forced to sit through like timeshare meetings over and over again. It's so hilarious. Like, it gets to like a whole conspiracy behind it. It's a good episode to watch.
Definitely.
So that was number 7.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is season 3, episode 17.
Season 3, episode 17.
The Worldwide Recorder Concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really like that one.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the first episodes that became like my favorites, just because it's not as entertaining as others, but it's memorable for me, at least. So pretty much the episode is just about how the South Park kids are invited to Arkansas for a recorder concert from kids from all around the nation. And at the concert, they meet these pompous, douchey New York kids who think they're better than them and insult them in front of everybody, and everybody laughs at them. So they plan to get revenge. And the way to get revenge is that Eric Cartman and Kenny, discover a special note that's called the Brown Note. And if anybody hears the Brown Note, they shit themselves instantly.
Yeah.
So the revenge plan is to get the Brown Note onto the sheet of the New York kids and have them shit in front of everybody. But somebody that works for the concert mistakes that sheet for the new sheet of everybody and makes new copies for everybody. So the whole concert is played like on TV, and pretty much everybody in the world shits themselves.
It's nationwide.
It's so funny. And okay, the reason why this episode was so memorable, not just because everybody shits themselves, but because the B story to this episode is how Mr. Garrison goes back to his family home in Arkansas and confronts his dad about not raping him when he was a kid. Because he already accepted the fact that he's gay, and he I think, what is it, like, he hears that the stereotype of someone being gay is that their dad raped them when they were kids.
Yeah.
So he goes back to Arkansas, confronts his dad as to why he didn't do that, and even his mom goes along with it. He's like, no, I swear, if I knew he didn't do it, I would have forced him to. It's just, in the end, it's a happy ending. It's crazy. It's just it's a fun episode to watch. A little laughs, giggles, dark humor, all that stuff.
Fair enough.
Moving on to moving on to number 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 6, Ola?
Yeah, so just to speed things up, I'm gonna say like why I put it on instead of like describing the episode. Because I feel like if you pursue our list or our recommendations, you'll love the episodes regardless.
All right, for sure. Yeah, that's a good one.
So my number 6,
or at least let's do that from 5 and down.
All right,
just to like halfway.
All right.
So number 6, which is
my number 6 is from season 10, episode 7, and it's the episode. It's out
with Cesar Milan, the dog whisperer.
So a quick premise: basically, the school tells Cartman's mom that Cartman's behavior is just out of control, and they try everything to get Cartman to behave. And by trying everything, they try to get him on like these reality nanny shows. But every nanny that they get, she just turns crazier and crazier to the point where like they have to go extreme and get like Cesar Milan, the dog whisperer, to try to correct Eric's behavior. Yeah, and it actually does work. But
Eric does change.
Yeah, but Eric feels like it's such humiliation, and like what kind of like who does she think she has the right to change who I am? Yeah, that he like goes and tries to like kill his mom as the B story.
But as he's trying to kill his mom, he actually does like the change within him actually overtakes him, and actually he becomes a nice kid. Yeah, and it's not only just like I like that episode just not because it's just like what is it, an analysis of Cartman's behavior. It's also an analysis of how Cartman's mom treats him for being a single mom.
Yeah, definitely. Because at the end, it's like Cartman's mom who kind of like reverts Cartman back into being that like bad
spoiled
kid.
brat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just because she lost a
potential love interest in Caesar.
Or I was gonna say it's just the male figure in the family. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, oh my god, that episode is so good. It also just kind of pokes fun at how like those reality TV shows are. and it's like I don't know, because I was never really into like the nanny and all that stuff. The dog whisperer I was, because it's actually pretty good. But it's just funny how like all those dog training approaches
it actually worked on him. Yeah. What nanny shows were there?
Like they even say in the show that there's like Nanny 911. There's like Super Nanny.
There you go. That's the one.
And all that crap.
And it's like we've tried every nanny TV show and I don't know where to go. Yeah, I like that episode too. It's a good one. You guys should check it out. My number 6 is season 5, episode 1.
Oh.
It Hits the Fan.
Oh, that's not on my list. But that was one of the like more controversial / influential episodes.
Yeah, that's why I actually put it on my list. Mainly just because it was back when curse words had to be like censored out, like no questions about it. And only like bitch and shit were slowly getting more accepted.
Yeah.
Into TV, and this episode aired around the time when the word shit got actually legalized or uncensored, and South Park did it in the greatest way possible, where they said shit on live television fucking
like 160 times.
Like I want to say like 300 times or something
probably,
like that.
I don't remember.
Like by the end of the show, it's just a ridiculous amount of number. But the premise behind the episode is just that the curse words are actually cursed, and they raise an evil that has been dormant within the earth for years. It raises warriors to fight that evil. It's just a great episode. Like,
so there's like 2 scenes from that episode that I love.
Which ones?
The first one is when they see a list of the curse words, and Mikrov is one of them.
Yeah, it's like, see, I told you Mikrov is one of them. Even God doesn't like Mikrov. What is Mikrov? Do you know?
Mikrov is like I think it's like a type of Vietnamese food.
Is it? Is it a type of dish?
Yeah,
I figured
I'll look it up right now.
Like but yeah, that's funny.
So there's that, and then the second one when like Mr. Garrison can say
when
fag. When he can say fag.
Yeah, because he's the only gay character.
But then literally everyone else is like, oh, so I can't say, and then they
bleep it out, they censor it. Yeah. But then there's the one guy at the bar that says
it's Jimbo.
Jimbo?
Yeah.
And then he says it and he doesn't get censored. He's like, well, Jimbo, you big gay fag, like, well, you want to come back to my place? I remember that.
I don't know how to spell Mikrov.
Mikrov, I think it's Mikrob.
Mikrov.
Microb?
Whatever. Well, yeah. I'll put it in the. I'll tell you later.
Or I mean, you can just put like on the screen. Right now.
I'll post it up right now. So, anyways, yeah, those are the only 2 scenes I remember from that episode, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just a fun episode, and it was like enjoyable for me seeing like there's a counter on the corner of the TV that just counts down every time someone says shit on South Park on the show, and it even after the curse is lifted and everyone's saved, they still keep saying it and it still keeps going up. It's just fun to see how many times they actually say it. Like they keep track of that for you.
Yeah.
All right, so number 5. Now, no more descriptions of the episodes. Just
why you put it on
you put it on the list, and you know, if you guys are interested in these episodes, just go check them out for yourself. They're great.
All right, so my number 5 is season 10, episode 11. The Make Love Not Warcraft.
Oh, that was on my list too. Yeah, that was actually, I think. Let me see. Hold on.
Was it also your number 5?
No, that was my number 4.
Oh,
yeah, that was my next one. Okay, go for it.
So I put that on my list because, like, overall, it's just a funny episode, and it shows like the kind of like severity or the I don't know. It's just weird how they it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is it's weird how South Park like views gamers because it's kind of what the whole thing does. Like they take World of Warcraft, not the whole like. Well, they categorize the whole industry of gamers or just people who like video games as like this separate entity from like everybody else, because they start playing World of Warcraft, but they can't. But they like get way too into it, like the whole like this guy has no life. Like he's reached this whole level.
It shows how it really portrays how the media shows or portrays gamers back in that era. Yeah, like the only way you could ever get such a high level is because you have no life.
Yeah,
like, that's all you play.
And then that episode has aged very well too, because now gaming has entered like the mainstream and everyone's trying to be a
Yeah.
gamer and gamers are all popular, but then you look back and it's like the guy who had no life is like this overweight guy with acne who has like one of those wrist protectors and is like sitting on his laptop like doing nothing
with like a mess on his desk.
exactly like that's how
and
gamers
stuff.
used to be, but
Yeah.
now they're like anyone can be a gamer
Now they're like world champions that win like $1 billion in competitions
exactly
and stuff.
so that aside from like the episode aging well, it's just the overall funny episode.
Exactly like as you said, it aged well. Like right now, if you watch it right now, it's still pretty like, you know, relatable.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know. It's a great time. It was still when World of Warcraft was like relatively new.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Well,
It was the original World of
Yeah.
Warcraft before they started adding the expansion packs. But it was when Warcraft reaches like peak, when everyone was talking about it. Like everyone was like, "Oh, you know what it is? You gotta play this, blah blah,
Yeah.
all this stuff." It was a great episode. So that was my number 4. So I'll skip my number 4.
All right.
My number 5 actually is which one is it? Oh, season 5, episode 14.
Ooh.
Which is the last episode of that season, and I think you might like this one. It's Butter's very own episode.
Oh,
That's my number 5.
Oh man,
It's just an episode of Butters. It's literally just that. It's the first time they show Butters having his own episode.
Yeah.
And before then, like that's why I like it. That's why I put it on my list. Because before they didn't even hint at Butters being like such a big impact on the series.
like he was
as he
around
was.
and stuff, but they didn't like definitively say he's a cast.
Exactly.
Like he's part of the cast, or he's one of the guys.
Yeah, they just used him to like, you know, end the joke. He was just the butt of the joke, or just
Yeah.
like, you know, make a little pun here and there, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
like
man.
with this episode, they like cemented the fact that he was gonna be part of the cast. He was gonna be like a main character of sorts, you know. But it really showcased how great of a character Butters is, how innocent he is, and how his innocence actually like gets him to these all wacky adventures. It's just so hilarious. But yeah,
Plus,
I
it
love
shows
that.
how like overboard the creators of South Park are willing to go.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
literally, like that initial shock is enough that like Butters' mom wants to kill him. or
Wait,
something.
what initial shot?
Isn't it like when Butters tells his mom that like his dad is at a gay club?
Yes.
And then the mom
yes.
kind of loses it and like
Yes.
paints Butters.
And then even puts him in the car
Yeah,
and
and
drives
drives
him
him
into the
river.
lake. Yeah.
Yeah, it shows like
yeah.
how
That's some dark
severe
humor
like
right
they're
there.
willing to go.
Which is weird because later on in the series, Butters' dad sends him to a camp
Yeah.
for all that stuff. So
That's
it's just-
another
it's
good
crazy.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
what's your number 4 then? Since
All
my
right.
number 4 is Make Love Not Warcraft.
All right, so my number 4 is season 10, episode 14, Stanley's Cup.
Oh yeah, that was a great
It's
one.
it's
I love
another
that
one of those it's another one of those episodes that like make fun of 80s and 90s conventions. So basically, like, in order for Stan to work off the tickets that he has on his bicycle, he has to coach Little League. And it's like, oh, coaching Little League isn't as easy as it turns out to be.
It's the guy that makes the announcer voice is what really
Yeah,
makes
it
me
really
giggle every
cements the
time.
episode.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what movie it is, but they parody it where like the kid has in the South Park episode, there's a kid
That's
who has cancer, and it's like if you win the game, his cancer gets better. If you lose the game, he gets sick. But then they end up drawing, so it's like his cancer doesn't really get better, but it doesn't get worse.
It's like he's tied.
Exactly. And then the little kids end up like going out and finding a ringer, which is Ike because he's Canadian.
Because he's Canadian. Yeah.
And then they end up facing like actual hockey teams and just get destroyed.
Fun fact, just a crazy fun fact right now. If you've never seen South Park before, the weird thing about Canadians in this show is that their heads, the top of their heads, are not connected to the rest of their body.
Yeah.
So every time they talk, it just wobbles around. It's hilarious. But yeah, that episode is great. Apparently Randy's dad has like
Oh, he has, like-
PTSD to like when Stan used to be in the Little League.
Oh man.
But what's fucked up about that episode is the ending.
Yeah.
Like where they actually face off adults.
Yeah.
I think they're parodying the Mighty Ducks, aren't they? Isn't that one of like?
Is there a kid who's sick in the Mighty Ducks?
I'm not 100% sure. I never watched the Mighty Ducks 1.
I remember seeing it, but I hated that movie.
Yeah, I watched the second one,
like,
and the second one was like, eh.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, yeah. What was your number 4? Victor?
Number 4 is the Make Love Not Warcraft.
True.
So
okay.
I'll start with number 3 this time, since we already know Make Love Not Warcraft.
Well, why did you put it on your list?
Well, just because of that. We pretty much said it. How it just like represented gamers of the era of that time, like how media represented them really well.
All right.
And it was just funny, seeing the kids get bigger and bigger because they decided to like just devote their whole lives to Warcraft to defeat that one bad guy. It's just, I love that transformation. It's the first episode that me and my sister like actually connected on South Park with. She loved that episode, so I was like, all right, it's cool. That's why I put it as my number 4. It's very memorable to me.
So then go ahead. Your number 3.
Number 3 for me is The Losing Edge, season 9.
I know that
5.
one.
Season 9, episode 5. The Losing Edge.
Yeah, the one where they're forced to play baseball.
Yes.
So my god,
they're forced to play Little League. Turns out they don't want to play Little League, so they try to like fail. Turns out nobody wants to play Little League.
Yeah, everyone just hates baseball.
Yeah, so everyone just tries to fail. Turns out their opponents are always better at failing than them, so they keep winning. So I put this on my list because it made a connection to my childhood, how I used to be in Little League, and I hated that shit. Only time I actually started enjoying it was when they put me as a pitcher, and it was fun for me because I didn't really have to run around and catch the ball.
Yeah.
I just had to like pitch it. And like I just didn't enjoy my time in Little League for anything at all. Like it only lasted like what, a month or 2 or so, like, and then I got out of it.
Yeah.
But even then I dreaded it going there.
Fair enough.
And I really connected with the kids, and they're like, we gotta lose. We can't miss our summer just because of this stupid game. That sort of stuff.
I love that the B story is like Randy as Rocky.
Yeah. that's my god. That's the second reason why I put it on. And
so good.
The very memorable quote, the very memorable meme that everyone quotes from that episode is I'm sorry, I thought this was America. It's I love that. That's why I put it as my number 3.
All right.
What about your number 3?
My number 3 is season 12, episode 6, Overlogging.
Oh,
it's one where
is it where they go to California?
Yeah, California way.
California way. There we go.
Yeah. So basically, like the internet is gone, so people are trying to like live without the internet. But then there's like some internet in California. And I just put that episode because it has so many good moments. Like it's funny how they portray like the movement of people to California.
Like the
plus they have that whole
the Oregon
like,
Trail stuff. Yeah.
Plus they have that whole like black and white scene where they're at the trailer camp, and they're just like, "What? You think there's all this internet for all of us?"
He says he's going to California. How much internet do you think they have out there?
Yeah,
I love that.
Plus, it's just I don't know. It's just a good episode, and it shows like the stupidnness. Go for it. Sorry. I was just gonna say because like it shows how dumb some things really are, because the way that they fix the internet in the episode is by power cycling like this gigantic router that powers all the internet,
and literally Kyle's the one that just does it. Like
he just unplugs it for like 5 seconds and plugs it back in.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my god, he did it.
We have internet in all sectors.
So the thing I didn't expect that episode to actually include is Randy desperately being addicted to internet porn.
Yeah.
So like he's always just looking for his next hit, and he can't find it because there's no internet.
Yeah.
It's just that's like, I think that's the B-side story, but it's just funny. I love that episode.
Man. No, well, I think that's the A story. The B story is like Kyle
with
trying to figure out the internet.
But did that last as a B story?
I think so. I don't know. It's a weird episode.
It's
but it's a good episode.
Yeah, it's a good one nonetheless. Yeah. So okay.
One.
Now you take it away, Jolyn, with your number 2. Ooh, since I took it.
All right, so my number 2, which I feel like is either your number 2 or your number. Oh no, I think I know what's your number 1.
Okay, we'll get to it. What's your number 2?
So my number 2 is from season 15, episode 12, the 1%.
Oh no, that's not my number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but I like that one too.
Yeah, so I chose that one because it's just it shows it gives you a glimpse at the inside of Cartman's mind.
Yeah.
How he like takes some kind of criticism or something that someone says and like twists it and amplifies it, and it makes it seem like it's so much worse than it actually is.
He does his mental gymnastics to make himself the victim.
Because basically like the school fails the presidential fitness test and people tell Cartman to grow up because they only fail the test because he's so fat and unhealthy.
Yeah.
And he takes it as like a personal attack to the point where like he starts to
say
like,
that he's the 1%.
Things like people or somebody from the school starts to like eliminate his stuffed animals.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is that one. Yeah.
So they nail Clyde Frog to like the tree. They like set Peter Panda on fire, and they like boil Muscle Man Mark and blow up Rumpelstiltskin, and it turns out it's like Polly Prissy Pants
that actually did it the whole time.
Yeah. But then it's like Cartman's the one that's been behind the whole thing,
and he has like
it's his way of like forcing himself to grow up.
And it shows how far he's willing to go to like accomplish whatever he wants to do,
or to like prove a point.
Yeah, exactly. With the multiple personalities stuff.
Yeah, and then that episode kind of plays off of the whole like Scott Tenorman must die episode. Is that your number 2?
That's my number 1.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's my number 1. David Jolin.
Whatever. We'll talk about it. But it's just foreshadow.
Actually, that Scott Tenorman came before that one.
I know it did.
Yeah, so that.
But it's like playing off of.
It really episode. Is. I mean,
but anyways,
diving into Cartman's mind is like I think the greatest strategy South Park ever does in any episode that they do, because it's just. Cartman's so fucked up.
He's really messed up kid.
The episode is another one of those that they dive into his mind. It's so great.
And then the Woodland Critters Christmas episode, that one's really messed up.
It's a holiday fucking episode, and they do it so bad, so fucked up in a good way.
All right, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is season 7, episode 1. Canceled.
Oh, okay, I know that one.
And I love this episode because it takes it back to the very first episode of South Park. They literally replay it, and it breaks the fourth wall because the kids are like, they realize they're in a rerun. So once they realize that, they start taking another route. And by taking this other route, they find out that Earth is actually a intergalactic TV show.
Yeah.
And they get the Earth canceled. And by getting the Earth canceled, it means, destroying the Earth.
Yeah.
So they go on this huge space journey to, like, get Earth back on board. And it has great moments, Like, I love how they went back to the first episode because this was their 100th episode.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, acknowledging how far they've come. It shows you how far they've come. Without giving you a little sample of, like, hey, remember this? This is how we were, and it's awesome. We're still like that, and we love it. Yeah. And they have a taco that shits ice cream.
Oh, true.
So I love that. What's your number? What is it? Number 1?
Number 1.
Number 1. The final.
All right. Before number 1.
Since you know my number 1, what's your number?
Sorry.
1? Gosh.
Okay. Before I say my number 1,
what's your honorable mentions?
Just some I'm not gonna elaborate on them. But the honorable mentions that I have are all of season 13. Which we talked about. Go check it out. It's like the best season.
If you want to start with that one, and then you could just go into all these other episodes, and you'll see how great they are.
The next one is season 2, episode 3, Ike's Wee Wee. The one, oh my god, that just Mr. Mackey's
getting high.
whole story about like going into drugs and sex and all that crap is hilarious. Watch it.
And he's like a fucking 50-year-old virgin.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then my last one is season 15, episode 14, The Poor Kids.
The Poor Kids?
It's another one of those that like you kind of delve into Cartman's mind, where like Kenny gets sent off to a foster home,
right? And
then now Cartman's the poorest kid in school, but that like he can't have that, so then he gets sent off to like a foster home.
I remember that. What's the trademark of the show? I'm white trash and I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
yeah. I like that
from Pabst Blue Ribbon or something.
Mm-hmm. So is that it?
Those are the only honorable mentions that I have.
I mean, the only honorable mentions I have before number 1 would have to be the Coon and Friend. Well, just the Coon series.
Yeah.
Because funny enough, they released the episode The Coon about like a season before they made like Coon and Friends and stuff like that. Like they continued it. Like pretty much they gave you part 1 to see if it, like people would like it, and then they give you part 2 and 3. So that was really fun. It's just, you know, Cartman trying to be a superhero, and in reality it's actually Kenny that's a real superhero. So it's just
plus
awesome.
that whole Coon and Friends thing is basically what the Stick of Truth is about.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, that was so great. Because Stick of Truth is just like a South Park episode that you.
Oh no, wait, it's Fractured But Whole. Fractured But Whole deals with Coon and Friends because the Stick of Truth deals with the Avast and Fires, the Game of Thrones thing.
The Game of Thrones shit. Oh yeah. right. Yeah, so Fractured But Whole is the Coon and Friends with the superheroes. Yeah, and then the whole wizard and stuff. That's
Avast and Fire.
Avast and Fire. The Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, like.
That's another one too. The whole like Game of Thrones trilogy, that was pretty hilarious.
That was actually another honorable mention. But yeah, if you ever played those South Park games, like now you pretty much like watched an episode of South Park.
Yeah.
And like you could go back to it and continue it or see where it started from.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so getting down to the nitty gritty.
All right, so my number one is. The movie... No, I'm just kidding. No, the movie's pretty good. The movie's really good. It still holds up today, but...
What is it? Bigger, louder, and uncut?
Bigger, longer, and uncut.
Longer and uncut, yeah.
Yeah, so my number one is season 16, episode 9, Raising the Bar.
Oh, yes!
That's what I thought your number one was going to be.
Oh, my God.
Because that is an amazing episode.
That was a close one. That was very close.
But yeah, when you said you stopped at season 10, I was like,
yeah. Yeah, no, I stopped at season 10.
So the reason why...
I couldn't choose.
The reason why I chose this one, it just... like it reflects so amazingly on like the mentality that Americans have right now.
Yeah, big time.
About like only caring about yourself and being selfish and like, you know, and this whole like lack of standards that people feel like the newest generations don't have because of how like conventions and society has changed. And like this episode touches on all of that, but it does it in such a ridiculous way where like Cartman gets a mobility scooter, about how they make fun of like why Honey Boo Boo is a show that people enjoy.
Because exactly like touching on that aspect where people just enjoy watching others suffer. You know what I mean? Like we've gotten to that point where we like suffering or watching others suffer.
And it also gave us like the greatest line of South Park ever.
What is that? Like, what is that line?
Where Honey Boo Boo knocks Eric Cartman off of his scooter in skitty wrestling, and he's like, "I'm not done with you, bitch." And he's like, he uses the tip assist to get back up, but the guy's like, "Yeah, tip assist." It's like the greatest line in all of South Park.
I love that. It's
such a good episode.
And then when Michelle Obama herself, like once the bar is raised up, she's like, you know what are we doing? We shouldn't be doing this. You know what? I'm gonna devote myself to fighting childhood obesity. And she starts wailing Cartman. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the whole B list, the B story is like James Cameron is the one who tries to raise the bar, and he has to fight like Randy Newman.
Yeah. while deep in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, it's such a great episode.
It's an amazing episode.
And his song, his theme song, James Cameron's theme song, that alone should be enough to watch the episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. But no, actually, the reason why my number one is Scott Tetterman Must Die, and instead of Raising the Bar, is because of that. It's the first episode that dived into Eric Cartman's mind. You know, it was actually the first episode that took it as dark as it got. You know what I mean? At that point. Literally, for Cartman grinding up Scott Tetterman's parents and feeding it to him. Mm-hmm. How can like a 10-year-old kid do that? That's so messed up, and it just shows how dark Eric can be, you know?
Yeah.
Like how fucked up his mind is. And I guess that's why I love it. That's why I chose it as my number one, because it's like I can never forget that. I will never forget that, and I love it. I love that it got that far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are our 2 top 10 lists. If any of you agree or disagree, you can comment down below. Tell us what your favorite episode of South Park is.
Yeah, let us know if you're gonna watch the new season that drops September 25th. You know, we're excited for it. You know, we're hoping to see what South Park has in store for us next.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been a long one today.
It really has. You know, thank you guys so much for sticking
with us as far as
you have
any closing remarks, Victor?
Nah, I thought I did, but not anymore. Okay. We're gonna end it on a good note. Let's see.
Go ahead, Victor. Tell us.
Okay. On a good note.
All right.
Just what scientists have accomplished in August 2019. All right. Maybe give you a little hope of the future. Maybe give you a little hope for science, for our innovative power, for our intelligence, whatever you want to say. Just hope in general. I hope you leave out here maybe feeling good about yourself, feeling good about the future, maybe feeling good about how intelligent human beings are. Even though sometimes you get proven wrong. But just in August 2019, scientists demonstrated a 3D bioprinting method in which they manufacture functional heart components.
Ooh.
Like a heart valve or even half a miniature heart. And it works. So it's all out of, and they also 3D printed it out of muscle heart cells and the protein collagen using their open source hardware and designs.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So MRI data was used to reproduce the anatomic structure of the patient's heart, and their new gel allows the liquid collagen, the ideal bioprint material for tissue, to solidify in a gel bath. So scientists have literally 3D printed organs.
Yeah.
In August 2019. That just shows, we're getting to a point where if we don't destroy our planet and kill ourselves, we might be able to get to a point where we could live farther than 150 years. To the point of where we reach to what used to be considered immortality.
Yeah.
It's just long living and just because all thanks to the medical science.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that made you smile. Hopefully that gives you some hope. So some light in the dark tunnel that we're in right now. Hope it makes your day.
Yeah.
Hope you smile. Because your smile's beautiful.
Well put.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay beautiful.